we first create VPC, the very first thing we do on AWS. So let us call this thing, for example, my VPC. I am putting IPv4 CADA block of, I can put anything. Let us say I'm putting 192.168.0.0/25, for example. So this will mean there are 128 IP addresses. So 128 IP addresses are there. So the architecture I'm going for as of now, the design is kind of like this. The reason I'm trying to go for like this, it is a little different. Okay, I'm going to make it like this. If altogether there is 128 IP addresses, so the network is, let's say, network size is 128, right? Let me call this guy sub1, this guy is sub2, and this guy is sub3. What will be the sizes of these subnetworks? 64, because it is half of it. Sub2 is 32, sub3 is 32. Now we know that 128 is /25, right? So 64 is definitely /26, 32 is /27. Now we have written the CIDR as 192.168.0.0/25. That means it is starting from 192.168.0.0 ending at 0.127. This guy's range should be starting from 192.168.0.0 till 192.168.0.63. This guy's range should be starting from 192.168.0.64 till 192.168.0.95. And this one is 192.168.0.96 till 192.168.0. The last one, that is 127, right? This is how this is laid out. 3 parts we are breaking down. So this part CIDR should be starting IP 192.168.0.0 and slashes we have already calculated 25. This guy should be 192.168.0.64/27. This should be 26, and this should be 192.168.0.96/27. Right? So this is more or less what we have. So let us create this structure on AWS. Okay. So it is 192.168.0.0/25. We're starting with, we're creating this. Then the first thing we should create is our subnetwork, right? We'll come to subnetwork. Now I need to create 3 subnetworks. I'll select 3 availability zones, different. So let me create sub1. I'm going to give it the same network, my VPC. Okay. And I'm going to put it in availability zone 1A. This IP I'm going to give like 192.168.0.0/26. So it will go till 63. We'll have together how many IPs? 64 minus 5, that is 59. 59 available IP addresses, right? And you can see that over here. Next comes your sub2, which is once again under the same VPC. And availability zone, putting it in 1B, for example. The CIDR is starting from, so the last one ended at 63. It will start at 64. So 64/27, because now you're breaking 30 to 32, right? So 27. How many IP addresses available we shall get? 32 minus 5, which is 27. Exactly. So we get 27 over here, right? And the last one, so this one is going till 95. Last one should start at 96. Putting it C, 192.168.0.096/27. As of now, just understand in this way that we have a network, we are breaking down into 3 parts. So the entire network is starting from 0 to 127. The first part is half of the size of the network, so it is 0 to 63, because half of 128 is 64. Since we are starting from 0, it will be always 1 less, so 0 to 63. And the second and the third part is half and half of it. I mean, 1/4. So that is like from 64 till 95 and 96 till 127. So 30 to 32. Now, these 3 ranges once we are getting, then what we are doing, we are trying to pull out the CIDR figure out of that. So what will be the CIDR for this one, and this one? And as per that, we are getting it. So /26 denotes 64 in size. There is a formula, 2 to the power 32 minus x. Using that formula, if you put it, you will find out this value. I mean, just figure it out. 2 to the power 32 minus 626. That is 2 power 6, which is 64. So 64 in size, and whatever size you will find out over here, it will always be 5 less of that. Now that we have got these 3 subnetworks, now my plan goes like this. See this thing. I want to put the internet over here. Okay. This guy I want to be a public subnet. Okay. And these two I want them to be private subnet and private subnet. That means I'm going to put my internet gateway connectivity over here. So this guy's routing table needs to have the 0000 entry to the internet gateway. So sub1 routing table will be, of course, 192.168.00.26.25 will be there, right? This is over local. Local means LAN. And 0000/0/0, of course, because it is the internet, every IP, as Ankit had put in the chat. So it is going to be your IGW, internet gateway. So this line has to be added over here. For the other two subnetworks, the second line will not be there in their routing tables, respective routing tables. What we can do, since both these subnetworks, now notice this thing, for sub 2 and sub 3, what I can do, I can keep only one routing table for both of them. So both the routers, I can ask them to refer to the same routing, because anyway both of them are private. I do not want a different. If I want at some point of time, that point of time I'll create a new routing table and divide them. As of now, I'll create two routing table. One routing table I'm going to attach the sub one, and another one I'm going to attach both sub 2 and sub 3. So RTB1 is going to be RTB1 is going to be associated for subnetwork 1. Subnetwork 1 machines will be getting routed depending upon the policy written in routing table 1, and routing table 2, it is going to be getting associated with sub 2 and sub 3. So all the servers going to be launched in subnetwork 2 and 3 will be following the policies written in routing table 2. Or in fact, in a better way, you can put the router that AWS automatically puts, that will be following the principle of routing table 2 in case of 2 and 3. And in case of subnetwork 1, it will be following the principle of routing table 1. So routing table 1 router, and we also know what is the difference. The 00 line will be added to routing table 1, which will not be added to the routing table 2. Okay, let's try to do that. So let's come to route tables. We create route tables, and we call this thing RTB1, route table 1, attaching with the network. One is done, another one I'll create. RTB2, attaching with the network. Done off. I shall go for associating them with the subnetwork. So the first one, subnet association, edit subnet association. I'm going to attach sub 1 over there. Okay. Save. Under routing table 2, edit subnet association. I'm going to attach sub 3 and sub 2 both. Okay. Save. Already the default route has been added at 192.168.0.0.25 on local. Right. This one. This line has already been added. Right. This one also. In both the routers, you can see both the route tables. You can see. Now, sometimes people say that, they use the word router instead of routing table. That I add a router. They're talking about routing table. A routing table will only reflect to the word router if for every router you have different routing tables. Now here, if I say that what is the router doing, and in routing table 2 there are two routers connected to that one, it will not make sense. Sometimes I also sometimes pay. When you will work in the projects, you will find out in industry, you'll find out. Normally we say like that what is going on in this router. But what we actually mean is that what's going on in the routing table, right? So a router and a routing table will be the same word only if there is one router to one routing table. But the second one, see, two routers are there in the same routing table, because every subnet has their own router. So for this one, this line will be wrong if I say that what is the router doing. Right? Let me create a gateway, right? I need to attach one. Call this thing like my IGW. I need to attach it with the network first, right? Okay. I'll come back to the route table. On the route table 1, I want to have the internet connectivity. Come to the routes. Edit. Internet is 0000/0. Clear? We are at the internet gateway. So now that we have created the route table and all those things, now it is the time that we actually go for launching a server. Okay, within that. So I am going to use EC2 now. This is not a EC2 tutorial. EC2 is going to be a very big thing, right? There are a lot of things in EC2. We're just using to launch a server and that's it. We'll not care about anything else as of now. Okay, I'll come to launch instance button over here, the orange color. This is the new look and feel. You might see a different screen depending upon whether it is turned on or turned off. If it is turned off, it will come like this. Okay, it is the older look. It always used to be like this. There is a blue button. In fact, in the video that I have posted, the 3 videos that is taken like 2 months ago. So over there, if you see, you will see this screen only. If the screen is shown in the video in this 3, because after that, all the videos now it will come from this session. Those 3 are only the older videos. So if that screen is seen, you will find out this kind of a screen. I always keep on saying that click the big blue button. But now the thing is, after they have started the new look that has come into picture last week. So this blue button has become an orange button. Okay. From now onwards, I'll keep on saying click the orange button. So that's one thing. Launch instance. We have to choose a operating system over here simply. Okay. I mean operating system along with some pre-installed softwares. That is what this thing is. It is a set of templates. Okay. This is known as AMI, Amazon Machine Image. So this is an image. Image means what? Like an ISO file kind of a thing that you can put on a computer to run it. So Amazon Machine Image is a separate topic for discussion. As of now, don't get into all the stuff. Just understand these are some templates from which you can launch a computer, right? This is the software part of it, the operating system and the installed softwares. So let us keep it simple. Let us go for a Windows machine, right? So Windows 2008, very old machine. It will be loading very fast because they're very old. 2008, very old, more than 10 years old now. Select this. This is the oldest machine present on AWS. You cannot, there is nothing older than this. Okay. So let us go for this one. This screen is talking about the hardware setup. So that was the software part. This is the hardware part. What is a computer? A hardware software combination, right? This is the hardware part. So for free tier, there is only one, that is T2 micro. I'm going to take this T2 micro throughout. So it is running with one single core CPU, right? And 1 GB of RAM. But it is faster than the typical 4 GB RAM laptops. Nowadays that you find out in the market, 4 GB, 8 GB. 8 GB is too much. 4 GB RAM laptops, it is faster than that on this machine. The only reason being that most of the 4 GB computers you'll find in the consumer grade computers, they'll come with i3, i5 processor, right? This one comes with Intel Xeon. Intel Xeon is a very high quality processor, extremely high quality. By the way, if you are willing to shred some money, you can get really hi-fi machines over here. Let me show you. See this computer comes with 3904 GB of RAM, 128 core CPU. This is probably more than ever anything you will need in your lifetime. You never need this kind of a big computer, but it is there, right? So that's what I was trying to say, that there are a lot of options. Anyway, we shall go with this one. Okay. We'll click on review and launch. We'll not go into these tabs. Okay, fine. Let me come to the third tab at least, because here you will find out your network part. See these 3 things. Okay. We forgot to do one thing. You remember auto assign public IP. We forgot to do that. We should have done it. Let us come back to the subnet. Subnet of 1, right? That has the public IP. I mean that should have the public IP because that has the. So I need to modify the auto assign IP settings. Okay. I'm enabling this. Let me show you the effect of this. Let me refresh, because otherwise it will not load. It will come back to the first screen once again, but not an issue. I'll take it. Okay, coming to my VPC. In my VPC, you can see there are 3 subnetworks being shown, right? That is what exactly created. So subnetwork 3, it is showing 27 IP addresses available. Auto assign public IP is by default disabled. You can change it from here, but the default behavior is talking about, right? By default, it is disabled. So if I come to subnetwork 1, 59 IP addresses are available, and by default it is enabled public IP. 59 because 64 minus 5. Once again, subnetwork 2 will be having 27 IP addresses. By default, it is disabled. So this now you can say, you can argue that what do you need it? You need it because you're working in a team. Other people will not understand which one is public, which is private. If you set the default behavior, they can just look at it, they can get it. Okay, this is public. So let us launch this machine in our public subnet. Okay. I will come again once over here and I'll launch another one in private subnet. Any one of them, any one of the privates. I'll not do anything else. I'll not go anywhere. I'll directly click on review and launch. Okay. Now here, when you have come till here, click the launch button. It is asking you to choose a key pair. Now for me, I already have one. Now this is for Linux. I mean, we can use for Windows also anyway. So I already have one key pair with myself. For you, this will come like nothing is there. Something like that will come. So what you have to do, you have to select create a new key pair. Okay. And then you have to just write down the name of the key pair. I mean, whatever. Hi. And just click on download. That's it. So it will get downloaded over here on your Chrome. Right? That's what you need to do. And then you need to click on launch instance. So what will happen? No, nothing else. Just write down a name and download it. But that file you should not lose. That's what you need, right? So I'll show you. I already have that. Now this is CentOS machine. It looks a little different from your Windows computers. So in my downloads, I have that already. You can see nv CentOS kp.pem, right? PEM is a private key file. PM is a format for, you can see private key file. PEM file, right? It is asking that stored in a secure and accessible location, right? You will not be able to download the file again after it is created. This is the only time you can download this. I mean, if I go to my nv CentOS kp and I say I've lost it, can I download? No, I cannot. I have to create a new one. And if any older machine is running that was created with this file, you have lost it, you cannot log into this machine anymore. Okay. Otherwise, you have to remember the password. The password is going to be bad. You don't remember normally. So I am using the existing key pair, right? Launch instance. So next time onwards, don't create new every single time. Create it once. Next time onwards, you do the same thing. Click on acknowledge. That's it. Okay, you're acknowledging that you have this particular thing. Because if I don't have, I won't be able to log into my instance. Okay, so my Windows machine is launched. If you click on view instances in the right bottom, you will find out that it is showing that the guy is getting started over here. Pending, it will get started. So till the point it gets started, let me go ahead and let me launch another one in private. Same machine I am taking, same hardware I am choosing. I am coming to the same network, but in a different subnetwork. Let's say sub 3, for example. Okay, in sub 3 it is running. One thing I'll show you. If you come to the tag section, if you add a tag, you can write down name. Name is a very popular tag. Tags are like for you to identify. Right? If I call this in a private, we are launched this time. Acknowledging the key pair. That's it. So what will happen? See, the server will come up with the name private server. That will happen, right? So here also you can edit and write it. I mean, not a big deal. So this is public server, right? So if you see the difference between these two, public IP. The private server does not have a public IP, but the public server has a public IP, right? Both of them have their own private IPs. That will definitely be there. This guy's private IP is basically, you can see 192.168.0.15, the public server. Now, if I come to the photograph, what was the range? From 0 till 63. Available IP range was 0123 block from 4 till 62. 4 till 62 was available. It got 15. Randomly it will get, right? So between 4 and 62, 15 is a valid IP address. The other one I have taken in subnetwork 3. That means it has to be 96, 97, 98, from 100 till 126. It has to be within that. Either it will start from 100 till 126. It can be anything within this range. Let us see the private server. It is 100 itself, right? It got that one. Whatever, it can get randomly. I mean, next time you start, it will get something else. So 100 to 126 for this one. 4 to 62, it got 15. So now, what was the PEM file for? You need to wait for at least 4 minutes. That is why I'm just wasting some time. because before 4 minutes these machines will not be ready. Even though they are showing running, it actually takes 4 minutes. For Windows, for Linux machine, it will be within 2 minutes they will be up. Right click and click on get Windows password, because Windows machine you need username password, right? I don't have it. So I need to find it out somehow. Here my PEM file will help me. See, it is telling that this is the key pair, it is called, right? NV CentOS KP. It is asking you to choose that file to get the password. Either you can choose the file or you can copy and paste the key pair below, the private file content. That content, Karthik, that you saw just now, RSA. You can copy paste it over here, or you can just choose the file which will automatically copy paste it. Right, so that data is getting copied over here. You can see the begin RSA private key, the entire data, decrypt password. So this is the default password it has generated for you, right? It is impossible to remember this, and every time it will change. I mean, for this computer it will remain the same, but if you delete this machine and create a new server, you'll get a different password, even though you'll be using the same file. You'll randomly give you one. So this is the user. The username for Windows machine is always administrator, any Windows server. Okay, so this password you can change after you log in. You can go to user accounts. You can change the password, right? So if you change the password, that point of time you have to remember it, because this PEM file will not give you that password what you have changed. It will always give you this password, right? So if you want to, I mean, that depends on you whether you want to change the password to something else and use that, or you want to use through PEM file, right? So you see, we recommend that you change the default password. If a default password is changed, it cannot be retrieved through this tool. It is important that you change your password to one that you will remember, because how will they know what password you are changing? Okay, so this is the thing now. How do you connect to a Windows machine? RDP. We try to take RDP to other people's machine. We do it, na? Right now also that you are seeing my screen, it is happening through RDP protocol. RDP is the remote desktop through which you can do that, right? You can take control of. They give you control, right? So that is what RDP is. All this Zoom is operating on RDP. After that, what else we have? Skype is operating on RDP. You have got your WebEx, TeamViewer works on RDP. All these things works on RDP protocol. If you are running a Windows machine, you have a by default RDP in your Windows itself. If you click on Start menu, you just write down a remote desktop connection. It will come up. Okay, or you can write down MSTSC. Okay, you can just write out. Just click on your Start. Go to your Start. And in the search that is coming bottom right in Windows 10, just write down MSTSC. Now on Linux nothing will come up, but on Windows it will come up. MSTSC, it is coming, right? If you press enter on that, it will ask you for IP address. See, after that. Now if I need to connect, I have to connect through console actually. So it looks a little different over here. I have to first of all find out. There is a command that I keep on forgetting. I noted it down somewhere. Let me get it. There's a tool called free RDP through which you can connect from Linux machine as well. Here the RDP command. So this is like I'm putting all the things, like the size of the window I need. I do not need so big. I make it 720. It's 720 pixel HD. 1280 by 720. Otherwise, because I cannot resize it once it opens up, it will be that big only. It is not that easy to operate on Windows machines from Linux machines. It's a little difficult. Take a look at this IP address. This is the one, okay? 3.95. 243. Once I do that, you remember you had to select a yes no certificate over there that you created on yes. That is coming over here. Do you trust the certificate? So write Y. It's asking for the password. I need to get the password. Let me get the password. Forgot what the password was. It is impossible to remember anyway. This is the password. Let me copy it, paste it, and here you go. It's loading. Fine. The same thing. Now this is one machine. Okay. Let us do one thing. Now let us get see the photo. We have connected through this machine because it's public. So now if I connect here, now within a network, people talk to each other using their private IPs. Right? And since we know that the router can talk to all the entire network, right? Because it is routing to /25. That is the entire network. Therefore, this machine can RDP into this machine. This machine that is running in sub 1, that can RDP into the sub 3 machine through private IPs. They can do to each other. Now, since I from outside have already got connected to this machine, I can see that they're getting connected to each other. I can do that, right? Because now I have control of this machine, right? From there, I can get it connected to that one. Directly, I cannot connect to sub 3 because I have no control over that. That is private machine of this network. But since these two sub networks can still talk to each other because their routers allow that, so I can definitely from here to here I can do RDP. So I'm going to do an RDP from here. See, I'll just write down R. It will come up. RDP, remote desktop connection. And then I'll be putting the IP address of that machine, the other machine, private server, that is 100. Okay. I'm trying to connect. And if this username password box is coming, that means it is able to reach. If it is unreachable, this box itself will not come. If it is asking for authentication, that means it is reaching. Let me get the authentication parameters, by the way. So let me go over here. Let me try to connect over there. Decrypt. This is what it is, the password, right? A very odd password it has given me. Administrator. And here you can see I'm getting connected. Another way to verify, I mean, if you try to open up, let's say, browser over here, and you want to open a browser over here also within this. So here, if I try to Google, okay, it is actually, if this page is coming, that means it is reaching. You can actually see Google is loading because this machine has internet. This is public IP. This has internet. This is connected to the gateway, right? So 0000 request. You remember? It is going to the gateway. You are connecting to the internet means what? You are sending a request that is being supported, but here it will not open up. If you go for it, it will keep on for 5 minutes. It will keep on rotating. Then it will tell you that oh, not reachable something. That default whatever message comes up, right? If it was Google Chrome, it would have been the dinosaur, the dancing dinosaur. Yeah. Right. Anyway, fine. Right. So you can very easily see that it is not. And here is the information. You can see the public IP information is not there. Here there are so many information, right? Public IP information on top of private IP. But here, see, direct the instance is coming into picture. Instance ID is actually the one that you see. It is going to be not reached or something. So here, see, it is 6A3E. That is the coming from here. Instance ID 6A3. This one. 653A public server. I'm just telling the last 4 digits. 653A, right, over here in the public server. So that is telling that it is actually that machine. Okay. It is not reaching. It is now trying to go to bing.com for some reason.